I was marking some stainless steel and I started playing with these skulls again. I ended up with a couple marks that were a very shiny, polished look, and I realized if you up the frequency quite a bit, you'll get that effect on stainless, and it looks pretty good. And as I tweaked the settings a little bit more and I tried to make multiple passes and mark an outside contour and played with the speeds and power and frequency, that sort of thing, I ended up with a couple of different effects. And if you look at the skull on the left, these settings sort of produce a slightly bluish, silverish polish mark. It's subtle. They're all kind of subtle colors. They're not going to jump at you like if they were marked by a MOPA laser. This is just a Q-switch laser, so it's a fixed pulse width, and it's not really meant to produce color as far as I know. But you can kind of do it if you catch these marks in the right light. So this first mark that is kind of bluish, it's done pretty fast, 750 millimeters per second, 30% power, and 55 frequency. I've tweaked the frequency a little bit, and I've also tweaked the power a little bit. I've got it at 35 right now, even though it says 30. And the hatch spacing, I've also played with that a little bit to see if I can get a deeper blue or not. And when I bring it up to 0.004, it actually turns more silver. And 0.0025, it's not bad at all. It's still blue. And I think I have it at 0.025 right now. So it's delicate, and it may depend on the material. This stainless that I'm marking is just some kind of thin industrial metal that was pulled off of a machine, and it's nothing special. I don't even know the grade of stainless, and I don't know if there are any contaminants on the surface that might be either helping or hindering the color form. So the next skull is sort of a silver, and it comes out as a very good mark. There's no burnt look around the edges, so these settings work out real well for just nice shiny polish. And they run a little bit slower with double the hatch spacing. And the frequency is all the way up to 70, and my laser goes from 20 to 80 kilohertz. The third mark is sort of a golden polish, and that also looks very good. It's sort of like anything you do on stainless with higher power is going to be brown if you don't tweak it a little bit. So this is sort of the high frequency version of that, high frequency, low power version of that, with a pretty tight hatch spacing. And I assume you could probably tweak this and maybe make it a little more yellowish, but I didn't do that yet. And the last mark I sort of stumbled upon when I was trying to do a cleanup pass, not a cleanup pass, but sort of an anneal pass to turn a mark black after I went over it once, and I accidentally came up with purple. It's, well, purplish, reddish, sort of a rose color, but it's an interesting look, and this is the one that probably comes out the most consistently. The blue is not super consistent, and the gold and the silver, it's a subtle difference. You can see the gold more if you're looking at it right next to a silver, but the gold's pretty consistent and the purple's very consistent. So let's mark it, and I'll also take some pictures of this so we can actually see it, because it doesn't show up very well if you're not in the right light or the right angle. Okay, so here are the marks. Let's make this a little bigger. Now you can't see too much color just looking at it, under the microscope especially. But that's the first one, so that's our silver with our well-defined edges. Let's see if I can improve this a little bit. So it does have some good detail. And then this would be the pure silver. Actually, that's the bluish silver. This is the pure silver. And you can see these are quite shiny. And that's our golden color. And lastly is sort of the rose slash purple. So I'll take some pictures of these in better light, and you can catch them at the angles where you can actually make out the colors. It's pretty difficult in this microscope. Now you can sort of do it there. So there's kind of the rose, and you see it completely changes when you turn this and catch the light in a different angle. There's the gold, there's the silver, and there's the blue. So here are some more pictures of the finished product with regular indoor lighting, and I also marked a flag there, you can see. And here's another angle of the exact same thing, also indoor lighting, nothing special, no sunshine or anything like that. This is also indoor lighting, but it's LED lighting. And here's one more shot of it, and this is a little bit shinier because it's under a camera flash. So hopefully this information is useful, and if anybody has any ideas about better settings, feel free to share them in the comments.